It's funny because you say the consul general would say, don't host that terrorist. This is a classic move by a government who basically says we're going to label somebody a terrorist, and therefore we're going to try to get on the side of right here. And they all do it. China does it. Turkey does it against the Gulenists. I mean, I've seen some reporting, and I've tweeted out last little while. The word terrorism is being used to describe all kinds of things that are not terrorist in nature, and it's highly ironic in a sense that China did have a case that there actually were cases of Uyghur terrorism in the People's Republic of China. There were some pretty significant attacks in metro stations in various parts of China. Had they played their cards right, they actually would have gotten some sympathy, I think, from the international community in trying to identify the very, very small numbers of Uyghur Muslims who had turned to terrorism. It is a very, very minute number, as terrorism just tends to be. But by labeling the entire population a terrorist population, and then by taking the measures it has with the concentration camps and the sterilization, everything else that you talked about, it essentially has lost any support it may have hoped to gain. And of course, now it's trying to do so by applying pressure on families and that kind of thing. So let's turn to the vote in Parliament, Kyle. So we had the Parliament voted, I believe, unanimously, although there was a lot of people are commenting on this. A lot of Liberal cabinet ministers weren't at the vote yesterday, which raises all kinds of questions as to, did they all have the same meeting? Did they all have the same, 24-hour bug? There were an awful lot of Liberals that were in Parliament when the vote took place. Was this the right move by the Parliament of Canada? And more importantly, and maybe you know this better than I do, what weight does a parliamentary vote have? First of all, with Canadians, and secondly, a parliamentary vote, does it put pressure on the Liberal government of Justin Trudeau to do more with that? So first of all, was it the right vote, and what will the impact of that vote be?
Yeah. So I listen. Parliamentarians have the right and the ability to speak out on any issue. The role of legislators is to hold the executive branch of government to account, to uphold the laws that it signs. So in this case, they made a proclamation that it's what's happening against the Uyghurs or genocide. They did the statement. I'm okay with that. I think it's the correct assessment, and I think it will also give or empower other legislatures across the world to do the same. And I think this is the one thing that we need to see right now. It's starting to put pressure on China. China doesn't, it's carrying out these terrible crimes, but is also trying to hide them, and also wants to bask with the Olympics coming up. So I think by adding on also that
Right.
the Olympics should be moved, I think that is correct. What the impact will be, it's too early to
So
say.
Canada, so we're a bit of a trendsetter in terms of our Canadian Parliament is one of the first to do this, and you think that will put pressure on other parliaments and other legislatures around the
Well,
world?
we are the first parliament. I mean, the subcommittee recognized it. The subcommittee on human rights was the first parliamentary kind of notion, but this really is it's the first
Wow.
Western parliament legislator to do so. So that's historical.